Work performance data. That is the raw observations and measurements identified during the activities being performed to carry out the project work. Examples of work performance data include key performance indicators, KPIs, any of the work that's been completed, the number of change requests and/or defects, and actual costs. The issue log is that document where all of the issues are recorded and tracked, and it's going to be updated as a result of the monitoring and control activities throughout the project lifecycle. The data on issues or issue data includes the issue type. So what type of issue is it? Who raised the issue and when was it raised? What's the description? The priority, is it high, medium, or low? Does it need to be resolved? How quickly does it need to be resolved? Is it going to impact anything else within the whole project itself or any of the upcoming deliverables? Who's assigned to the issue, any target resolution date, status, or final resolution. So the issue log helps the project manager effectively track and manage issues, ensuring that they are investigated and resolved. And the issue log is created for the first time as an output of this process, although issues may happen at any time during the project. So the issue log is updated as a result of monitoring and controlling throughout the project's lifecycle, as I said. Change requests. These are the formal proposals to identify any document deliverable or baseline. And there are 4 types typically of change requests. They're undertaken for corrective action. So this is going to be where you would an intentional activity that's going to realign the performance of the project work with the project management plan. Preventative action, it ensures the future performance of the project work is aligned with the project management plan. Defect repair modifies a non-conforming product or product component. And then any updates are going to be changes to formally controlled project documents, plans to reflect the modified or additional ideas or content. Project management plan updates. So any change that goes through change control via a process change request are or could result in updates to the project management plan. So because it has whatever, if you think about what the project management plan contains, all of the baselines, the scope management plan, the quality management plan, if you find a defect or an issue in quality and you had to make an update to that, then you have to update your project management plan as well. So it's all very much tied together. Project documents updates, as I said, they're going to be updated as a result of carrying out this process. Things like the activity list, which is described when we get into our schedule management in Chapter 6. So the activity list is updated with additional or modified activities to be performed to complete the work. The assumption log, and we just talked about that, new assumptions and new constraints can be added, and the status of existing assumptions and constraints may be updated or closed out. So Olga, that goes back to your question you had earlier, right, with the assumption log should be updated and revised, right? Lessons learned register, we'll talk about that in the next process. Any lessons learned that'll improve the performance for current and future projects is recorded as it is learned. So again, not at the end of a phase, not at the end of the project. You want to do it as you're going through. Requirements documentation is going to be, we'll talk about that in scope, but any new requirements that are identified during this process would be included in that documentation and updated. The risk register, we'll talk about when we get to the risk chapter. But as you're doing the project work, new risks are going to be identified and existing risks may be updated during the process. They're recorded via the risk register and the risk management processes. And the stakeholder register, This is where additional information on existing or new stakeholders is gathered as a result and is recorded in the register. So um, I know in my current project, um, we're constantly kind of coming up with new stakeholders or new people that are, need to know something. So for example, we need to get a new infrastructure piece built, a new VPN, and there are some people who directly deal with that um, are now involved in the project and wanted to know kind of what the status is, and they may have some work to do on the project itself. So, or some of their team or resources would have work to do on the project. So, that would be an update that would be made to the stakeholder register, and then also the project documents update.